Hi, how's it going, guys? We are going to get started with some Legions Triumphant very soon here. And today we're actually taking a look at an especially interesting battle here. I really want to jump in and basically just show you guys how different some of these army lists can be. Guys, we are going to get started with some Legions Triumphant. Let me go ahead and pause that for a second. And today we're actually... There we go. So we're going to go ahead and jump in here. Now we're playing the Battle of Hormozgan. The battlefield is most open. Now actually what we're going to do is actually go back. I think we took the wrong faction if I'm not mistaken. The Parthian army consists mainly of fully armored cataphracts and unarmored light horse archers, and the Sassanid army has fewer cataphracts and many unarmored horse archers, but has many armored horse archers. So pretty interesting stuff here. And yeah, we are playing as the Sassanids, so no, we definitely did take the right faction. Now, of course, this particular battle is in an open desert, of course, and you guys can just see the scale here is absolutely monumental. It really is. Now, we are, of course, facing the Parthians in this case and hoping to defeat them. And this is one of those battles with a lot of horse archers, so there's going to be a lot of interesting back and forth. It's two armies that are heavily invested in these horse archers, so we're going to have to wait and see what happens. I will get these two cataphracts specifically so that we have some support in terms of, actual heavy cavalry. And I'm also going to go ahead get the expert horse archers, of course. And I think we can also grab a few of these light horse archers. So let's go ahead and accept and get started here against the Parthians, guys. So here we go, the mighty Sassanid army led by Shapur as the sub-general and Ardashir, the commander-in-chief of the entire army. I think we're going to start off by just going ahead and moving forward. By the way, this particular faction, or really any of these factions that have to do with horse archery, I have a lot of trouble defeating them. They are tough to fight. I think it also does take some skill to actually be good with these factions in multiplayer. But if you're able to master them, you can be really, really quite amazing. So let's go ahead and take a look here. I don't want this alarm going off. Here we go. Okay. So we're moving these guys into position, of course. Take a look over here. Yeah, sorry about that, Echo. How's it going, Dave? Good to see Zach. Good to see Lancer, Wavell, the whole crew. Good to see you guys. Okay, so once again, for those of you just arriving, we are playing the Battle of Hormozgan. I'm sure I'm terribly mispronouncing that, but this is a master clash between the Sassanids and the Parthians. The Parthians at this point, of course, in 224, controlled a lot of territory, and I mean a lot. And we can take a look here. Their cataphracts are absolutely legendary. And I'm thinking if we're going to beat these Parthian cataphracts with an army of mostly horse archers, we really are going to have to target those cataphracts specifically. I want to get a close-up view of our army here, the Sassanids. They're looking pretty great, and we've got some Sassanid cataphracts over here. We also have cataphracts, but I would say they're not nearly as good as the Parthians. And what we have are armored horse archers, which is kind of an interesting idea. I mean, obviously you want a horse archer to be able to move quickly. Armoring that horse archer, I think it's probably going to slow them down a bit, but maybe not so much with the Sassanids. Let me go ahead and make sure these guys are turned the right way. There we go. And we'll end the turn. Now, once again, the scale of this battle is huge. That's one of the reasons I decided to go ahead and try it. But another reason I tried to go ahead and try it is we went with some pretty mainstream factions in the last stream, and I had a lot of fun. I think you guys did too, in terms of getting that victory as the Romans. But this time we're going with some more rare factions, really. These are sort of not necessarily touched upon nearly as much. So I'm going to go ahead and move forward with my armored horse archers here. And the enemy's doing definitely a very smart move here. What they're doing is they're sending forward their light horse archers first, and they're keeping these heavy cataphracts back. They know they're going to have to use them eventually, but maybe not just yet. So I guess I have to get a bit closer here. One thing I'm not liking right now is the distance. We have to be 2 tiles away. I think 3 tiles would be much, much better, but hey, I'll take what the game gives us. And I'm, of course, going to target the unit that I can do the most damage to. We're not necessarily going to target just one unit in this Let's Play. We really do need to try and dish out the damage to multiple locations. On this guy, though, I'm definitely going to turn and fire. Disrupted. Nice. Right away, we're hitting the Parthian light horse archers pretty well. Move this single unit over here, and this is a light horse archer. And now, I think we want to start attacking the sub-general here, Aturpat. If we could get a lucky shot and take him out, that would be huge. It really would. So I'm actually going to turn and fire at Aturpat, the sub-general. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Get him down to 5. Direct fire right here. And I don't want to bring our general forward. I want to keep him back. Obviously, the morale loss you get from a lost general can be pretty significant. I'm actually going to go ahead and target the light horse archers to his left. But as you can tell, in an open desert like this, you know, it really it requires a lot of work to be able to defeat the enemy. And it makes sense why you would have horse archers, camel archers, etc., because this is an open area, so you can see the enemy pretty easily here. And if you learn how to use a bow, you're going to be extremely useful. Let's take a look here. Yeah, let's definitely bring in these Sassanids. We'll keep some of our men behind, though, just like the Parthians are doing with their cataphracts. We will keep some men behind. Now, that held firm means that they did have to take a morale check. That's a good sign for us. But look at all of the rest of these guys. There's a lot of them, man. We could actually go ahead and charge, which is hilarious, and actually do okay. But I'm going to go ahead and just move forward, fire. Move forward, fire. We're going to keep things very, very straightforward for this battle. Or I should say for this part of the battlefield. Oh, man. Those armored horse archers have some incredible skill with the bow. You can see they're 17, 16. I mean, those are some serious hits. They held firm again. We're getting close. Come on, boys. Disrupted. That's what I'm talking about. And once again, I'm going to target their general here. In this case, Farnavaz, the sub-general. The only exception being I will bring this general forward so that he can fire over here as well. So we are bringing Kuyar, which is our sub-general, one of our sub-generals, of course. We're definitely taking a risk with him. There we go. We've disrupted Farnavaz. This early on to get a disruption, that's pretty great. Okay. We're going to turn it over to the Parthians, see what they're going to do. And we've got all these Sassanid cataphracts. I do want to move forward, but I also want to be kind of careful. So I think I'm just going to move them forward a little bit here, like 2 tiles. Get a little closer to the front lines, of course, but not necessarily right on top of the enemy. There we go. Get that. I like that. That's working out okay. And we'll turn it over. Let's see what you guys are thinking of the actual factions we're using here. What do you guys think so far? Awesome Lionosaurus. Field of Glory 2. Have it on my wish list. Yes, absolutely, man. And this is actually the Legions Triumphant DLC that we're taking a look at. So again, this is post the death of Julius Caesar. You know, there's a lot of battles happening in AD, things like that. It's definitely worth taking a look. Yeah, I'd move them up as well, says Zach. I think so as well. I think we have to be careful. We don't want to get too close, but we also don't want to stay too far behind. At that point, their cataphracts will move forward and get to the battle before we will, and basically easily wipe out these horse archers. Let's also grab the Commander-in-Chief Ardashir. We'll get him really close. All right, let's end the turn. Oh, there we go. They just matched our movements, which I'm not surprised by. But it looks like both of us are a little afraid of getting too close to one another. You can see here the men we're losing with these attacks, pretty significant. We do have to remember that the Parthians are known for their archery skills. This is something that they're very, very good at. And it looks like right now they're actually going for a full charge. This is why it's good to have cataphracts nearby, because we should be able, hopefully, to send a cataphract to hit one of these units and try and disrupt the charge. We could cause a lot of damage. Obviously, as you guys can imagine, a heavily armored cataphract charging into a light horse archer unit, it's going to devastate it. So if we can get that to happen, it's obviously a huge plus. There we go. They're charging again, man. These Parthians are angry. Nice. We actually fragmented them. So we might be able to get the first break here pretty soon. Also, since our horse archers are armored, I'm assuming they're going to do pretty well on a charge. Let's go for it. Enemy's going to evade. None too surprising. Hopefully we at least get a flanking attack on one of these units. There we go. Not exactly what I had in mind, but we do have Artupat, one of their sub-generals here in our... I wanted to use a word that's more relevant to modern warfare, but in our sights, let's say. So let's go ahead and grab this guy. Oh yeah, it's a pretty risky charge, but I know that if we stay in melee, we'll actually end up doing more damage here. And there we go. They held firm, but we forced them to fall back. That's pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and follow up with a shot here, because I'm guessing that they're getting pretty low here. 176 of 206. They still have a few men. Quite a few, actually. Turn and fire with our horse archers. I'd really like to break that unit this turn. I'm going to go ahead and charge with my armored horse archers once again. And I thought they were going to hold firm there for a second, but it looks like they are going to evade. And believe me, if the enemy is evading and they have a horse archer army, don't get excited. They're evading for a reason. They're not afraid of you. They're trying to get away, force you to chase them, and then shoot you down out in the middle of the desert. So don't get excited, like I said before. As for our cataphracts, I'm going to keep them here. I did want to bring some over here to the left side to try and assist here with the enemy, but I think we'll just go ahead and keep on firing, at least for now. Fragmented. Come on, breaking, boys. $33 auto breaks. Man, we got to take a look at the damage we did to that unit. So they had 217 men, and now they have 75. I feel terrible for those guys. That's pretty rough. Let's definitely go ahead and keep on targeting the enemy general here. And I think we should also not necessarily just focus fire on that one unit, but maybe focus fire on some of these units that are a bit closer. So let's do that. Show them we mean business. And there we go, already a disruption. Nice, we just fragmented the Sub-General Farnavaz. Unfortunately, we're kind of stuck here by their other horse archer units. Just take a look here at, okay, we've still got some armored horse archers. We only have a few units of cataphracts, so we absolutely have to win the battle out here initially against the enemy light horse archers. I think that's going to be the key to winning. Okay, let's end the turn. I just want to take a nice top-down view of the battlefield right now and see kind of what it looks like. Call this a drone shot, I guess. All right, not too bad. Let's take a look here at the chat. Oh yeah, it's going to be a long slog for sure. I mean, you know, obviously I've had battles against horse archer armies or archer armies that have actually ended pretty quickly. But more than likely, since we're both both have such armies, it is going to be a long slog. That being said, got to keep in mind that the Parthians here have better cataphracts and way more of them. And these Parthian cataphracts can absolutely stand up to just about any one of our units, and in many cases to a lot of the units in the game itself. They're an extremely strong, extremely expensive unit. And in this case, we only have 4 units of cataphracts, and one of those is a sub-general. So, yeah, not a lot. Not a lot. We really do need to win the fight out here. All right, let's end the turn. See what the enemy's going to do. They've disrupted our horse archers here. Not surprising, considering that we're totally surrounded. Look at what they're doing with their cataphracts. So it looks like, yeah, they're absolutely going to send them over here to the flanks to take on our existing horse archers. We're going to have to respond to this. And yes, they definitely broke one of our units. They're going to be able to charge into the next unit, if I'm not mistaken. Massive flank attacks here. I'm amazed that our unit is actually holding firm on this one. And another broken unit. All of our guys are going to have to take a morale check, of course. Man, 22. That is a heavy hit. We're doing quite a lot of damage to that sub-general, though. I think we'll end up killing him. Let's take a look here. As you can see, we've got him totally surrounded. Aturpat. So I'm going to go ahead and attack. Disrupted. That's a good start. Obviously, our Sassanid light horse archers, I think all they have is probably like a very, very short sword to get into a melee fight. Maybe a spear if they're lucky. So I don't expect them to be able to do much, really. That being said, let's go ahead and give chase here. If anything, just to force the enemy cataphracts to move a bit more to catch us. And then I'm going to move this guy out here, and I'm actually going to try to fire at this unit. Only 5, but you know what? It takes time. Eventually, we are going to break these guys, I hope. I'm just going to turn and fire at these fellows. We are exposing our flank to enemy cataphracts, but they're quite a ways away. I don't think they're going to get here in time. One thing I do want to do, though, is immediately start targeting their cataphracts. I mean, we have to try and take these guys down as soon as possible. I'm not sure we're going to be able to take them down with just archers, but we've got to try. Forward, boys. Got sort of a different setup here because I want to make sure that I'm watching both of our flanks. $17. I mean, we are still getting a lot of damage against what we know to be a very heavily armored unit. There we go. Now, this is what I really hate, is having to deal with the enemy over here. Because they're absolutely going to break us, and there's not much we can do right now except prepare for their attack. Make sure we don't have any movements we've forgotten or anything like that. And obviously, I'm clicking here. But if you really want to, you could just go ahead. You hit the tab button to let you know exactly who has moved, who hasn't. And especially in a fight like this, you definitely want to click the tab. See, if I had just ended the turn, we would have missed some pretty good shots. And you don't want that to happen. Every single arrow counts here. They're not going to hold firm for long. You can see they're pretty much close to breaking. just in terms of numbers. We're going to have a lot of auto breaks in these kind of battles, where the unit's morale doesn't necessarily go down low enough to break, but where they break just because they don't have enough men to continue the fight. I'm going to turn and fire at the cataphracts. Disrupted unit. And actually, if we could break that unit, we would force the cataphracts to take a morale check. I highly doubt that's going to break them, but it would be fun to see them have to be forced to take a morale check and potentially, you know, get disrupted, something like that. Even a small disruption will make a major difference in the game. Now, the biggest problem we have really isn't the cataphracts. It's these units right here. And we've also got an enemy sub-general that's kind of running away. Should have gone and chased him. You can still catch him next turn, but as they break through here, they're going to continue their charges, and they're just going to basically roll our lineup. So we need to find some way to fight back. I think one way to do that is to get these cataphracts or the armored horse archers in this case, as close as we can to those units, so that as soon as they hit our wall of cataphracts, they won't be able to move. Fact is, we're dealing with all the enemy cataphracts here, so you know, our attention is kind of focused on one thing, and we can't focus on multiple things, realistically speaking. Let's go ahead and end the turn. Yeah, that's going to be a break for sure. Now, hopefully, they don't continue their charge into our flank. Maybe they don't. We may have gotten somewhat lucky here. Now the cataphracts are charging. This is where things get really nasty. See, this is exactly what they do. If you guys saw all those hits, all the hit markers that popped up on our armored horse archers to the north, that's what happens when you try and chase down these units. They're going to surround you, they're going to shoot at you, and they're just going to keep running away. They love to do that sort of thing. Now, as you can see, that unit actually retreated. I didn't expect that to happen because we were just about to break them. But I think if we can break them in the midst of all of those units, we could potentially cause a pretty major retreat. So I'm going to try to still fire at them. Unfortunately, they've got units in the way. So we are going to charge here. They're going to evade. There we go. That's what I like. And now we're going to use our bows here to hopefully break that unit. And yes, we did have a morale check, and we actually disrupted one of the units. I'm going to go ahead and fire at it immediately. Turn and fire at these guys. And I'm going to do exactly what the enemy did to us on the other side here. I'm going to go ahead and get underneath the enemy. So I'm preparing for a flank attack. For now, I'm just going to go ahead and fire at him. But I am definitely preparing for a flank attack. And if we could surround this guy, he won't be able to retreat, and he'll be completely stuck. There we go. That's what we wanted. Now, unfortunately, I should have done that initially because now our general is obviously in combat with him, and the rest of these troops are just kind of hanging out. But I think this could still work for us pretty well. Turn and fire. Good shooting, boys. $31, man. There we go. We're taking down some cataphracts. So I think it's time to take our guys and charge into theirs. As you can see, there's no doubt that we're very evenly matched. Our chances of winning this charge are 14%. Our chance of losing are 13%, with a draw being 73%. And this is tough. It really is. And it's tough to decide what to do next. I think I'm going to go ahead and charge. This may or may not be a good idea, but at least we can say we started the charge against the enemy's cataphracts. We're definitely going to charge here on the enemy general unit. And they already actually managed to disrupt us. So these guys are not kidding around. What to do, what to do. I think I'll fire at them. Let's go ahead and try to break these guys. Auto break's coming soon, or possibly just a regular break. There we go, auto break. Yep, sure enough. I gotta say, the enemy is really brave. It's very rare for them to just break on their own. It's always an auto break, and as many of you know, an auto break is caused not by a loss of morale, but by a loss of numbers, by a loss of manpower. Just don't have enough men to carry on. Definitely gonna be chasing this fellow. Hello. Good day. There we go, another break. And we disrupted these guys. That's exactly what we wanted. Fortunately, these guys are totally finished. It's tough to know what to do in these situations. Like I said, I'm not as familiar with the Horse Archer army. It's very different. I mean, it definitely requires some different sort of skills than you might be used to. One of those skills is being able to move your army at a moment's notice and not necessarily be 100% sure that things are going to go that well. You just kind of have to trust yourself. Whereas with the Romans or the Gauls or something like that, you know, it's much more structured in the sense like you have infantry, you're moving forward with them, you're going to get into a fight. Hopefully, you're going to try to keep that line as strong and stable as possible. Whereas these horse archer battles are taking place over an entire area. And often, one part of the battlefield will be you completely defeating the enemy, and the other one will be them completely defeating you. It gets really, really tough. Let's take a look here. Oh, cool. Hey, our troop, good to see you, man. So our troop is saying one of the attractions of the simulation, such as the operational art of war, is the historical aspect in trying to outdo all the original leaders. Yeah, I agree with that. I think, and this might be just me, but I think for the operational art of war specifically, one of the things that draws me to it is the ability to play wars that are rarely discussed, if ever, in other games, game series, etc. I just don't see a lot of games focusing on, for instance, the invasion of Granada or on, anything like that. And it sort of makes sense. I mean, having to have one game on wars that, quite frankly, are either very small or very controversial, highly controversial, it's just not something that a lot of game companies are going to be willing to do. So it's great to see in the operational art of war that ability to be able to play, those wars that are sort of forgotten by the gaming industry. Okay, let's go ahead and end the turn. Man, it is rough. How did they rally? Keep fighting. Wow, even their general rallied. Do you see some units dispersing, but our guys are going to auto-break pretty soon here. They just don't have enough men to hold on. Wow. Unbelievable charge by the enemy cataphracts there. You got to give the enemy some respect when they do something like that. And that charge, 40, that is a tough charge, man. We're getting very lucky here because not a single one of our units are fragmenting with these shots, but that luck is not going to last forever. Oh boy. Oh man, our cataphracts are not even close to being a match for the Parthians, and that makes sense. The Parthians are the original originators, unnecessary Agrippa, of the cataphracts. So it would make sense that they are somewhat more skilled. But man, are they a heck of a unit to face. There's no way we're getting out of there. We could try to charge here, but as you can see, our chance of a charge would actually go very, very poorly for us. So even Shapur is not able to really do much about this situation. Same with the charge here. I mean, we just can't stand up to these cataphracts. I'm not sure what's affecting the actual bonuses to the charge, because initially it looked like we were pretty even. But now when we try to charge the cataphracts with our own, it seems that they're not even close to being even. So we do have to keep that in mind. Maybe our guys have realized that they're no match for the enemy. Let's turn the horse archers this way. There we go. Ooh. I really do want to fall back, but this could cause a cohesion test, which could in turn force us to have to, possibly get fragmented. I'm going to do it. Nice. We got very lucky there. And now we can fire again. But man, I think we took down just about 100 of these guys, and they're still doing just fine. Actually, no, we didn't take down 100. There was 414 before. Now there are 350. Still got plenty of guys. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. And hopefully an auto break here. Nope. No such luck. Alright, I'm going to move this guy this way. See, if we had done this before, we would have had a lot, I think we would have had some more luck. Because surrounding this cataphract allowed us to get a lot of kills. Maybe if we had surrounded them with our horse archers in sort of a C-shaped formation and just kept moving back, falling back, sort of taking some morale tests, I think that would have been a better approach. Turn and fire. When the enemy is going to beat you in close combat, no matter what you do, then in this case, obviously the best thing to do is try and use your arrows. Try and shoot them down if you can. If you can, of course. And actually, I will take this charge. If you guys take a look there, 47% chance of a win. Let's go for it. They held firm, but that's a good start. I'm going to do the same here. Ooh, I like that. That's starting to look pretty good. Now, they did hold firm, but if we can break through here, we're going to cause a morale check over here, which is exactly what we want. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Actually going to undo that move. Oh, yeah. Okay, we just have to keep our fingers crossed because we do have a lot of possible fragmentations over here. The problem is these guys are pretty far from the main army, so even if they break, we're not going to cause a lot of morale checks in the other units. But hey, it helps. I mean, obviously breaking this unit would be a lot better for us. All right, let's end the turn. Wish us luck, boys and girls. I'm amazed those guys are able to hold firm as long as they have. And there we go. They finally broke those units on the left. Not really surprising. Ah, already disrupting us. There we go, a break. Let's see if we got a morale check. We did. We actually disrupted one of the units. Hey, that's a start, guys. Now over here, these guys are going to break. Yeah, there's nothing we can do about that. Another break there. And this is just showing the might of the enemy cataphracts. Hello, welcome to the channel. Thanks for joining. Okay, let's see. What to do. I'm not going to turn tail and run just yet. I was hoping with that sort of flank attack, it's not really a flank attack. We are hitting from the side, but a flank attack would be more from back here. I was hoping we would be able to get a decent charge. Since we are armored horse archers, we should have some abilities in terms of being able to use some swords, doing some decent charges, but maybe not. So right here, for instance, we're going to attack with Shapur, our sub-general, against the Sassanid cataphracts. You can see even with Shapur and the sub-general, we're really not able to do a lot of damage to these guys. Turn and fire. Let's take a look here. Ooh, close. Very close. There we go. Nice little break. Unfortunately, no morale checks over here. The enemy here is a master at evasion. What we'll do, guys, and this is, of course, totally up to you guys. If you want, let me know in the comments down below. We can either keep playing this battle until the end of the stream, or what I can do is I can show you guys another battle. I am going to have to throw up the screen to sort of hide some of the battles that we're going to have in the game. But I do want to show you guys, if I have a chance, another battle during this stream. You know, tomorrow we're going to have a much longer stream. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Muso, it's 2 hours tomorrow. So today we are... If you guys would like, we can take a look at some of the other factions and decide what we'd like to play tomorrow. It's up to you guys. Let's go ahead and keep on moving here. Because I'm pretty sure, if I had to guess right now, we are going to lose, for sure. I mean, we could win, but it would have to do with a lot of, you know, good rolls, a lot of very lucky rolls, and I'm not sure we're going to be getting those. Although, I will say, multiplayer-wise, I think the Parthians are probably my favorite faction to use. They're just very, very, very good in terms of firing, getting away, and ultimately just breaking an army down bit by bit. Take a look here. Yep, 2 hours tomorrow. Absolutely. We could have a vote system, maybe continue battle or... take a look at another battle. Take a look at another battle that you guys haven't seen in the game. And give you guys another view into what Legions Triumphant is going to have. Now, of course, keep in mind, we've just been taking a look at the historical battles. We have not taken a look at the campaigns or anything like that, primarily because I want to keep you guys focused on the historical battles, then show you the campaigns, sort of just give you a little bit of... information here and there. Let's do that. All right, let's take a look here at this straw poll. I'll give it a few minutes to go ahead and do its thing. Now, last time we took a look at the battle during the time of the Emperor Claudius in Britain, which was really quite cool. We won that one, of course. This one, I don't think we've got a chance. All right, let's end the turn. See what they're going to do to us. Oh, absolutely broke our unit there. Broke another one of our units. Oh, they're just destroying us. Cataphracts have no fear. They really don't. If you had this much armor, I don't think you'd have any fear either. Oh, they are surrounding us. Look at this. Encircling us, as it were. Hey, we had a little unit rally there in the middle of a cataphract fight. Okay, let us take a look at this straw poll here. Yeah, Parthians lost the actual battles, and we're playing as the Sassanids, so we should absolutely be taking a look here. Now, I did put a vote in, so we won't count my vote. Show us something else. Yeah, you guys are with me. Well done. All right, so one thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to throw up our screen, and actually I should have, Muso's going to hack my head off for this. I should have the browser source over here on top. Now we've got it on top again. Let's bring that image down. And I just want to make sure that we're only showing you guys what we want to show you. Remember, this is a preview stream. So as much as I'd love to jump through the entire game and be like, hey guys, take a look at this, take a look at this, we're not going to be doing that. We are going to take a look at a specific battle, one of many, of course. So let me go ahead and put this up while I do my thing here, do some magical wizard powers to accrue the new battle. So let's go ahead and jump in. All right. So, of course, this is in the epic battles area. I like to refer to it as the historical battles area. Let's go ahead and jump in. So this one, I think, is amazing. I actually think there are other great ones, but in this one, you guys are going to take a look at a faction that you're going to be quite surprised by. And this is all the way in 450 AD. So, we're almost, this is well after the death of Caesar. And at this point, we're actually going to be taking a look at Attila. I'm sure you guys know who Attila is. But yes, the Huns are in the game, the Hunnic armies, and we're going to just take a look at the Hunnic army setup here in this battle. And of course, we are facing the Western Romans, and I think we should be able to do a great job if we were actually to move forward. Today, we're going to just take a look at essentially the battle itself. We're going to take a look at the army lists, and then we will, of course, move into the battle. I don't think we're going to be able to fight the battle today, but maybe if you guys like it enough, we could certainly fight it tomorrow. Take a look here. And now we can pull down the screen. Okay, here we go. So, let me jump in, and as you can see, this is the Battle of Chalon. I'm sure many of you guys know about this battle in Northeast Gaul. The Roman army is deployed with Romans on the left wing, Visigoths on the right wing, and Alans in the center. So as you can see, the Romans are not just fighting by themselves during this battle. Remember, this is 400 AD, or 451 AD. At this point, a large part of the Roman army was, mercenaries or other tribal groups near Italy, or in this case Rome, of course, that were willing to fight for the Romans. So we are going to go ahead and get started. We're not just facing Romans in this battle. We're also facing a bunch of other enemies, basically. So if you take a look here, we've got fierce nomad horse archers. And just take a look at the way they look. We're obviously going to get a close-up view, but they look so cool. The Hunnic army in this game just looks absolutely awesome. And again, if you guys want us to make this the battle we play tomorrow, just let me know. We'll make it happen. Look at these armored noble lancers as well. I mean, just an amazing army. There's absolutely no surprise, in my opinion, that these guys were considered essentially harbingers of the devil with their abilities here. Just the way they look terrifying. They look absolutely terrifying. Okay, here we go. Let's take a closer look at the Hunnic army, guys. Really want you guys to get a feel for the mighty Huns. So many stories about how vicious the Huns were, and look at their horse archer units. I love that sort of Eastern-style headgear they're using. These are true Hunnic horse archers. I mean, these guys would take meat, raw meat, strap it to the side of their horse in very humid and hot temperatures, and basically continue to ride to such a point that that meat was pulverized and very safe to eat. You basically, I don't know if it beats out all the bacteria or just takes all the moisture out of the meat to such an extent that it can't spoil. But as you can imagine, these guys are masters of warfare. Just absolute masters of warfare. And apparently we've also got some Ostrogoths working with us. Remember, some of the Ostrogothic tribes did join the Huns, but many joined, or the Visigoths joined the Romans. So here we go, the Visigoths on the Roman side. We can take a look at the main Roman cavalry here, or the Visigothic cavalry, excuse me. Remember, the Romans, they do have war bands and they do have fighters, but they're using the Visigoths as their main actual cavalry line here. We've also got some Visigothic warriors over here, and this does seem to be almost entirely Visigoths. We will have some Roman fighters here in the center, as you can see, and I love the way that they're starting to look. Are you guys seeing these shields? Tell me this is not awesome. We've got the Legio Comatensis here, both with different shields. We've got the Auxilia Palatina. We've got the Auxilia Palatina over here, the Limitane. These are definitely not the Roman units you're used to if you're playing, just regular old games based on Rome. These are the post-400 AD Romans. So very different looking, very fascinating. But at the same time, you can start to see the decline of Rome here, where, only a piece of their army could actually field Roman troops. As you guys could probably imagine, this battle would be an amazing one. A really big battle, of course, and definitely one I would like to tackle. So what we're going to do tomorrow for the stream is I am actually going to pull up this and two other battles, and I'm going to let you guys decide which we play. But I'm thinking that this one is definitely a contender for a win. It's just really fun. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let's take a look. This would take a few days to play, says Dave Zizou. Not necessarily, believe it or not. Not necessarily. We'll go ahead and just for the fun of it, we'll start moving some of these guys forward, or I should say we'll end the turn, see what the Romans do here. So they're immediately going to start moving forward. But you're right. I mean, the battles here in Legions Triumphant, not all of them, but a lot of them, especially the Battle of Chalon, which, even historically was a massive battle. They are big. They are big battles for sure. The terrain in this particular battle is also quite important because, as you could see, we are on top of a hill, which is a perfect position, or I should say we could get on top of a hill. And if we've got horse archers, well, they're going to do extremely well up there. So I'm going to take this guy, move forward. And I wonder if Attila is one of our generals. A lot of the times they don't use the main general, but he is the Hunnic nobles. Oh, sorry. So Attila is right there, represented on the battlefield. Now, if you get Attila killed, you have to immediately destroy your copy of the game, because that's just sacrilege. You can't do that. It's okay if you get Claudius killed, or if you get one of the Roman emperors killed, but if you get Attila killed, man, there's something wrong with you. You know, he's a tough guy. Let's go ahead and move forward. Look at that, man. Just a massive horde of cavalry. And it looks like we can even get off a few shots here on the Visigothic archers. Now, I know the Ostrogoths and the Visigoths are different kinds of Goths, of course. You know, one, they like to wear the black eye shadow. No, I'm just kidding. But basically, you know, they're different kinds of Goths, and I'm not sure where the disagreement is between them. I'm pretty sure they come from different parts of Europe, but I do believe they come from that earlier Gothic tribe. So perhaps there was a split. I think you guys, the amateur historians in here, a lot of you guys know a ton more than I do, and you could probably fill us in on why that happens. We're going to move forward just a bit, although honestly, if I was fighting this battle, I think I would have kept these warbands behind initially. Yeah, that's it. We moved the armies. Let's end the turn. Who will draw first blood? Are you guys still seeing the will be live soon? Let's take a look here. Hold on a second. No, we took that down. I only put up the will be live soon temporarily, Muso, to be able to sort of hide what other battles there may or may not be in the game. I don't want to give too much info away. Massive movement forward here by the Visigoths. And the Visigoths seem to really be taking the initial strides towards us, which makes sense. I mean, if I'm a Roman general and I've got Visigothic mercenaries working for me, I'm going to be sending them out first. I'm actually amazed, by the way, at the amount of damage we're taking here. Let's make sure you guys saw that. Oh, okay, it's okay now. Good, good, good. So you guys saw the Hunnic line, all that stuff. I hope you did, because that is just so cool. I want to see how our Hunnic archers do here. 34 to 108 possible casualties. Whoa. Just 88. 88 kills. That is ridiculous. You gotta love the Huns, man. You gotta love the Huns. 88, 59. This is just, I mean, just like the Huns were in real life. They are vicious. Their archery skills are surpassed by no one. In fact, they make the Sassanids and the Parthians look not that great at archery. Unbelievable. It looks like even in a charge we wouldn't do so well, but again, these are archer units. But just the fact that we can knock down close to 108 men with one shot, I mean, that's really, really good. These guys are made for, of course, this kind of combat. We've got some Alans here. Why are you fighting for the Romans? What's wrong with you? Oh, that's right, money. Yeah, fair enough. If we're charging with our Ostrogoth Lancers, I mean, you could very easily cut off this part of the army just right now. I mean, just right now, we can start cutting off completely that part of the enemy army and basically trapping them. Just incredible, guys. Really incredible. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this particular stream. I hope you guys will definitely be picking up Legions Triumphant, and I would love to know what you guys want to see tomorrow. Now, I can't show you guys all the battles because this is a preview, but tomorrow, since we're doing really the main stream for the game, I have no problem going ahead and showing you every single battle available in terms of the historical battles. We might jump into the campaigns as well, but we'll have to wait and see. And we'll vote from there so you guys can decide what you want. So far, my favorite army is the Hunnic army. Just is. I've always been into the Huns. In this case, they're just a lot cooler. Thank you, Dave. No problem. Oh, here we go. So Ascending Raider is going to explain it, and so are Artrop. Sorry, guys. I'm just now looking at your comments. The difference. So the Ostrogoths were the eastern branch of the later Goths, the other major branch being the Visigoths. Ostrogoths would trace their origins to the Grutungi, a branch of the Goths who had migrated southward from the Baltic Sea. Interesting. Very interesting. Wow, that is awesome. Thank you, Dogs of War. Artrop wants to see a campaign. That's definitely a possibility. And obviously, me and Muso can ask the creator of the game if that's okay. I think since we're doing a mainstream, it should be fine. If you guys want to jump into one of the campaigns, we could do that. But much like you mentioned, Artrop, it's unlikely we would finish it in. Or it's actually our troop, excuse me. It's unlikely we would finish it, in 2 hours. Very unlikely. Unless we get really lucky. We did have one campaign, and I believe a few months back when we were playing regular Field of Glory, where we actually won as the Romans after exactly 2 hours. But we got very, very lucky. There were a lot of lucky breaks, and that's probably not going to occur this time. Thanks again, guys. Take care. Don't play too much of that roulette. Keep those points, and have an awesome day.